G'day there everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Riley Broek, and in this video we debut the brand new Carlos Sainz kart, or rather the CS55 of the new 401T model at the newly renovated Cooloola Kart Club. So if you saw my last video in regards to the Carlos Sainz kart build, that is the new go-kart related now to the OTK family tree. So basically it's a Tony kart but in black and fitted with IMEX30 built by Power Republic engines as usual. So in this video we're going to be debuting it at the track in Cooloola Kart Club, a club that's just been recently refurbished, reconditioned. The track has been resurfaced. So on this weekend we go and do a bit of testing to see what the kart feels like. On the Saturday we practiced, and then on the Sunday we went racing. Saturday practice was pretty good, nothing really too out of the norm there. If anything, it was a pretty good day, just trying to come to grips with the new track surface. So before we kicked off our morning with our qualifying, unfortunately we had some. We were thinking it was going to be a completely dry weekend, but given the fact that this racetrack is a little bit closer to the Sunshine Coast and the shoreline, it does often throw in the chance of a little bit of wet weather, which in this race meet it did. The only rain, however, that came was at 8 o'clock in the morning when all the other groups had begun their qualifying. And as on the schedule, we were the last group. So restricted medium was the last group on the road, as per the program. And we were actually the first actual, I believe that we were actually the first actual full grid of dry tyre runners throughout the whole grid. The track, however, was still quite damp in a few places, as you will probably see through the onboard qualifying lap. My strategy in this qualifying was to probably go out maybe an extra PSI more than what I was using through practice on the Saturday. As the qualifying obviously was a shorter session, being only like 6 minutes, which isn't really a whole lot. I think maybe you can get like maybe 8 or 9 laps out of that, only just. And yeah, so now I'll take you through a lap of the new resurfaced track at Cooloola Kart Club. So here we are now, guys. This is our flying lap in qualifying. As you can see, just a few damp spots on the circuit, but flying out of the last corner there, tucking in, coming up the long hill of the straightaway, going inside to turn 1, just getting a little bit, braking a little bit sideways there, not as smooth as I'd like, running out to the outside of the curb. Now we face a long sweeping left-hander, sort of got a bit inside here, this next left-hander, as there's a bit of a wet patch on the outside there. Now down to a double right, and then another right here, sort of a hairpin corner. Coming back over the crest now, we're sort of catching this guy in front of us here. Now coming to a long sweeping right-hander, keeping it nice and tidy, keeping in. Off the accelerator there, just letting the kart flow. Accelerator coming out of the corner, up to the line in the slipstream, and that puts us in 5th position overall at a 39.0, I believe, about a tenth away from pole. Amazing to think that 1/10 of a second covered all 5 of us there into the top 5. Track grip obviously not as ideal as what it was the day before, being all dry. I believe that we're still about a half a second away from our fast times that we were doing in practice the day before. So now we're going to get into some of the racing action. However, as you will see here in Heat 1, coming up to start our formation lap after the roll-up lap, just sort of adjusting myself here, and then my engine decides to completely conk out. I believe the reason for this might have been an electrical issue to do with my stator or rotor, which is the blue component behind the head of the engine. I checked everything else, like reeds. It was definitely getting spark. It was obviously cranking and kicking over, as you can hear there, but it just doesn't seem to want to go. I suspected the carby might have been over-fueled, maybe flooded with a bit of too much fuel, maybe being a bit too rich, but that wasn't actually the case either, because I tried changing carbies and not even that worked. So yeah, DNS here, unfortunately. Now we'll roll on to Heat 2 here.
Anti-stall. It's off.
Okay guys, so that was Heat 2. You literally only saw me do about one lap, and then I'm probably wondering, what the heck just happened there, Riley? So, to cut a story short, the start was a little bit confusing in that race because the starting tower seemed to believe that we had already done our roll-up lap, which we did not. More of the story, we didn't do a formation lap ahead of the start. Henceforth why none of us were really bunched up going into turn 1 at the start of our race, and why nobody was really overtaking me. It was just all a bit of a mad confusion. But anyway, so yeah, and then I did one lap worth of racing and then just pulled off to the side of the road. So basically what happened, what caused my DNF was the fact that, so on the side of my X30 carburetor, you got two throttle springs. You got the spring which sits in the throttle with the throttle cable, and then you got a second one which operates the lever, which presses onto the throttle cable, which is sort of connected to the throttle vane, or the flap inside the carburetor, if that makes sense. Spring that's attached to the lever, which opens the vane when you push the accelerator and the throttle opens up. The spring, or rather the screw that holds the spring in place to the lever on the carburetor came loose maybe somehow, and then the spring has decided to go bye-bye. Yeah, so a DNS and a DNF doesn't look very good on the debut for the new go-kart, but really that's not really a kart issue, that's more of just like an engine trouble issue. The only two fixes was to either find a shop that had the spring and another screw to put that through, or to fit the carburetor from the slower practice engine to this engine. And fortunately, with the help of the all-new kart shop in Brisbane called Brisbane Karts, thankfully, big thanks to Ken and Tim that weekend for helping me out, and some of the other locals there in the Cooloola Kart Club community. We managed to get back out on track for Heat 3 and the final, and now I'm going to probably stop talking so you guys can enjoy the overtaking compilation that you are about to see. 3, and as you see right here, absolutely relieved that I am able to just pull off a few laps without a single issue that race. Hand in the air, waving to Kev there on the side there, now coming into the pits. So kart handled pretty good this race, obviously not DNFing or did not starting this race, so kart was pretty quick, straight line speed was pretty good with the all new fully rebuilt X30 from Parapublic Engineering. And now we're going to go straight into the finals, and this is definitely one that you will want to witness, so allow me to be quiet and you can listen to the roaring power of my X30 engine blasting through the pack once again.
In the mix as well as Broek, trying to make his way through the pack already. Is holding firm. Broek Wilson still holds firm. Here comes Broek. Riley is down. On top of the way he goes. Broek gets another one. Here he goes. Broek has really got the thing between his teeth in the final. He is going to get out to Micah Bradley, and right now he's almost upon him. Oh, round number 9, Micah Bradley is in trouble. On he goes, oh, down in the dipper, heading up over the rise. Now they head down that sweeper, right, then left. to the tap of the brakes, and then flat out through the final turn, edging ever close to the side of the track as Van der Broek is on him. Here he comes, Riley Van der Broek, another one in the bag, goes again, and he gets another one.
So there you have it, guys. That's the end of the race meet at Cooloola Kart Club. A bit of an interesting day to reflect on, or a bit of a rather interesting weekend to reflect on. Although I didn't really get to set too many fast laps through the day's racing on, and use most of my new tyre life. Really only probably did about maybe 20, 30, 35 laps from this race meet, and surprisingly, with the new resurface of the track, the tyre wear wasn't really as aggressive as what maybe the likes of Ipswich or Townsville is like, or Toowoomba even. The tyre wear was pretty smooth, and anytime you come back from a session, this tyre would sort of, you can see obviously it's worn, but it would just sort of be smooth and bald across the tyre. So I don't know if that's just because the track's been resurfaced maybe, or if and I can't really remember too well if the tyre wear around this track wasn't as aggressive as before, which I don't believe that it normally was. So it's a pretty tyre wear friendly track around Cooloola. Obviously, race 3 we were overtaking kart after kart. We had quite a lot of straight line speed with this fully rebuilt engine from Power Republic. As a review side of things to the new go-kart, to the new 401T, I'm led to believe that this kart does feel just a little bit softer than what the 401R did. But either way, the go-kart feels good. I pretty much drove it like on a bone stock setup, only without seat stays, and instead of running with MXJ rims, I actually ran the MXC rims. But everything else around this go-kart was a pretty much stock standard setup. So far, it feels like a good go-kart. I can definitely feel that there is a difference, but just to be 100% sure, I would sort of like to test it on a track that I am more so familiar with than that to one that's obviously, I am familiar with Cooloola Kart Club, but I guess it just makes it that little bit more difficult because that's had the resurface and it's not anywhere near the grip levels of Ipswich. So that's the video for the return to Cooloola Kart Club and the debut of the new Carlos Sainz 401T kart chassis. Thoroughly enjoyed coming back to Cooloola Kart Club. I thought it was a very good grand reopening of the club and return to racing at Cooloola. All the other classes were very amazing and enjoyable to watch as well. Thank you to all of the officials, the volunteers, and of course the Cooloola Kart Club committee for all the hard work put into to revitalize and resurrect this club after its flooding years ago. It was an awesome time to come back and race here and enjoy a weekend with some friends and a very good community that I very deeply love enjoying returning to. If you want to check out Kev DeVries and also Micah the Geek's YouTube channels, because they've made videos on this race meet. If you want to check Kev DeVries, if you want to check the Noises YouTube channel video out and Micah the Geek's YouTube channel out, be sure to click on the links in the description below. If you enjoy my video, be sure to click the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. If you want to continue to watch me make more karting videos for the future, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video in the future. So, peace, thank you, goodbye, thank you for watching, and as always, keep on racing. Farewell.
Let's go!